Time keeps on slipping into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Hey, this is Gary Rock when you're a real estate star. You are listening to Connection. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, indeed. To the revolution. Yes. So, welcome to the show. We are excited again, as always, to have you here to bring you to Connect. Oh man, so it has been again one of those weeks in history. We've got a lot going on. So where do we get started? Man, I got a guest today. I think he's having some hard time logging in. But we had to get this show started. So hopefully he will chime in. But nevertheless, wanted to talk to you guys a little bit anyway about all the things that are in the news. And I am really now getting to this point where certain things are really starting to piss me off. Certain things are really starting to piss me off, right? So as we are, you guys know what's going on in Chicago, right? So, dude, Jesse, is that his name? I think is his name. I think the guy's name is Jesse. It's all over Facebook. Got off. The charges were dropped. Charges were dropped on a guy who said he was attacked. The Empire actor who said he was attacked in Chicago at the airport. Then it came out that maybe he had paid some people to say they jumped him, and none of us actually know because the records were sealed. Folks. All were dropped, and his record was expunged. All right. So that's what we know to be true. We know the record was expunged. We know that dropped, and the record is over. There have been folks that are up in arms, to say the least, because the charges were dropped. So you have the mayor, you have the police chief who are outraged that they dropped the case. You have the president of the United fucking States speaking out about this shit. And in addition to that, you have all these jurors, I call them Facebook jurors, all over Facebook giving their 2 cents of opinion on what they believe is the truth. Now, many are actually crucifying this guy, basically saying that he did it. And because he did it, he should have paid. And this is actually privilege of having the financial means to get out of something. So the city of Chicago, this is the funniest shit ever, is seeking $130,000 of the cost of his investigation. That's what they're seeking. Now, again, his charges were dropped. His charges were dropped. His record was sealed, and the and his record actually was expunged. Now, there's a lot that I want to say about this shit because I have folk all over Facebook, folk who got fucking 30 degrees, right? Some who are even attorneys. Now, some are not actually criminal attorneys. So, they didn't, practice criminal law. And I'm not trying to sit up here as if I'm some type of criminal lawyer, because I am not. But one thing I do understand is that the fucking charges were dropped, record sealed, and he was expunged. Does that mean that he is innocent? It doesn't mean he's guilty. That's really what I'm speaking to. Those who are basically trying to say, yes, but it doesn't mean he's innocent. It doesn't mean he's guilty. So just like you're right, it doesn't mean he's innocent. It doesn't mean that he didn't actually come up with this. I was actually wondering that when everything first came out, I was even sharing with my wife that it didn't really add up. It didn't really make a lot of sense, right? I know that people post a lot of stuff on Facebook, where they are, I'm flying, I made my flight, I'm leaving, this, that, the other, kind of really giving their to and their goings and comings. But you'd have to be pretty fucking just on top of it to know this guy is going to be to meet this guy in Chicago, know exactly still, his flight. I mean, I don't know. You got to do a lot of shit for all that shit to happen the way it did, or the way he said that it did. I'm not saying that there aren't people crazy enough to do exactly the shit that he said that they did. Again, I really, when this thing came out, I really was not going to talk about it because to me, it's kind of, again, one of those cases that it's like, so what? There's so much other shit that we need to be focused on. That this was not that big a deal, and the fact that it got national news was some bullshit in the first place. The guy, even on his hospitalization, he wasn't like really badly hurt, right? They supposedly threw some bleach on him, roughed him up a little bit, but first pictures we see, the guy looks fucking like he just was on Empire, nothing to say that he was beat up. But again, I'm not here to be the judge and the jury. All I'm simply saying, whether he did it or whether he didn't do it, the charges were dropped, his record was expunged, and the case was sealed. So all these Facebook folk who are basically saying that doesn't mean that he's innocent, you're right. But it fucking doesn't mean that he's guilty either. And then they want to go on and they want to say why they actually dropped it. So they dropped it because he had the money, because it was privilege and this, that, and the other. All fucking opinion, no facts. My frat brother Rob Jenkins, who's an incredible attorney out in the Virginia area, he's done a lot of criminal law. I think DC, Virginia, criminal law. He's done criminal law, and he has a stellar record. He was on one of the news shows in DC, and he basically said, look, a high-profile case like this, if the prosecutor had enough information, had enough witnesses, had enough to actually win this case, they would have pursued it. But obviously there wasn't enough to do so. So it makes sense then to drop the case. What does that mean? Doesn't mean that he's guilty. Doesn't mean that he's innocent. What it does mean in a court of law is that we don't have a fucking enough information to continue to pursue it. I'm not going to be embarrassed at the end of the day. So this guy is not, he didn't, do something where he killed a bunch of people or raped a bunch of people. anything like that. So I'm gonna drop this case because it doesn't look like we would win it, and I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of money trying to pursue someone who would get a misdemeanor charge. Okay, makes fucking sense. All right. Again, doesn't mean that he's guilty, doesn't mean that he's innocent, but it does mean that we could put this shit to bed. All right. But you would think the Facebook jury would let it go. But the wildest shit is that not only won't the Facebook juries let it go, you have people who are, you have folk in the actual city, the mayor, Rahm Emanuel, who is, I think, the chief of staff for Barack Obama, who's the mayor now. He's been there. He's not going to run again. Who is actually outraged over this shit? Like on 10. The chief of police, the same. This is in a city that has all hella corruption, police corruption, planting evidence, killing folks. They get all types of shit going on in Chicago. And they make this subject, this guy, the banner of some type of police reform or police or just being on top of it. The city, the mayor, just going full steam ahead on this. And you have Facebook Negroes who are up in arms as well. I'm just totally over it. I'm kind of like fucked up from it, really. I kind of want to read a Dick Gregory book and just get it all out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really do. I mean, Dick Gregory right now, I think, would have the perfect words for these Facebook jurors, right? On this whole fucking fiasco that they're putting all this energy into when we have real shit going on, when Black folks in this country and really around the globe, even when we play by the rules, the fucking rules have always been tilted anyway. They cheat at the game. And then when we do slide through a crack in the hole or crack in the system, our own people then want to say Black folk are the first ones to say that the system is rigged and is not right. And then when we get one that does this and he doesn't go to jail, then they're the first ones to accept it. You fucking right. Absolutely. And it should be obviously, it should be evident and obvious why. What are you talking about? We saw, and the world has seen, we can go back to Rodney King getting beat down by police, right? And 4 officers being fucking acquitted, with it being shown to us primetime television. We've seen executions by police officers, primetime television, and they get acquitted. And you want to tell me you want to hang a brother who maybe faked his own attack? That's the motherfucker you want to be all in on? Really? Really? It's baffling to me. I've said it before. There's education, and I will actually paraphrase Carter G. Woodson, the miseducation of the Negro. That is what I am seeing in the book. The miseducation of the Negro. Folks who have 30 degrees and have little to no education at fucking all. It's right. It's mind-blowing that in a country that has cheated for fucking 400 years that we know of, just with us, say nothing about all the death and destruction they've caused all over the fucking globe, at the same time using the same hypocrisy to talk about justice and terrorism and come down on all this as they are the biggest fucking terrorists in the world. And these are the folk that we then use their system to justify us being fucking locked up and being treated equally as it pertains to the law. It's fucking kidding. To this degree that we get, there has been nothing. I'm so messed up today that I forgot to even read my blog. But I must read my blog. I must read my blog because the blog is so appropriate. This wasn't the conversation for today. Like I said, we had a guest schedule. I have talked to him this morning. I think the brother was having a little difficulty actually getting on to the show here. So we will just have to, I guess, reschedule him. But the name of the blog I wrote for March is called "What Say You White Privilege?" And this is going to account. I got to put some black folk who have lost their fucking minds in the same category, who may be just that naive. They've actually, danced or whatever the case may be, or served, massa or whitey for so fucking long that they have lost their fucking minds, literally, and think that the system should be, when it comes to things like this, that we deserve same equal treatment. If that was the case, fucking he would have got off for sure. If it was really equal, you wouldn't have a mayor and a police chief going just basically rogue